Hey, Vince.
What's up, Mike? How you doing today?
Is it easy to make money online?
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Typical guru.
I already know where you're going with this.
Do you now?
You gonna just hate on me because I know how to make money online?
I don't know.
You know all the sweat equity, all the hard work I had to put in?
Well, you tell me.
I had 2 nickels to my name when I got started. I had to walk 10 miles in the snow. But let's just break it down. There's really 3, I know where you're going. There's 3 reasons, right? There's 3 things that happen.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna play it out for you. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Please.
Let me lay it out. Okay, so the guru essentially sells the product and service, and it works for the guru, but not for the person that purchased it. That's one way. The guru sells it to people, and it starts working for a bunch of other people, but then it doesn't work for you still. And then the worst, this is the painful one. It's when the guru sells you, it's working for others, you get in, and it even works for you for a minute, and then it fails, and that's why gurus get a bad name. But to answer your question, yes, it is easy to make money online. It just is. Don't hate me because I worked hard.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
Hater.
But with that said, go ahead and hit that like button. You're going to enjoy this video. Number 1, please break down. Works for the guru, but not for you.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Got a story for you, Mike.
All right, story time.
I recently went to a basketball game with my boy Billy, my boy Mike. We had a great time.
I think I saw you on TV.
It was cool.
You're in that white EBOOV shirt.
Gotta keep the branding right.
Branding on point?
The branding was on point. Got my ticket, I was all excited, right? I remember I got the notification on my phone, check in for your flight. I'm excited. I'm gonna go to this game, I'm gonna meet my boys. So I click the button, look, it says checked in. Cool. Get to the airport, go to the machine, try to get my boarding pass. Error. What? So I go up to the thing, I have to stand in the line. I get up to the front and they're like, hey, your flight leaves in 45 minutes. You have to be here an hour ahead of time, or you need to check in, I should say, an hour ahead of time. You didn't check in, therefore, we can't give you a pass. I'm like, what do you mean? I bought my ticket, sorry. I have to check in an hour before the flight. What I can do is put you on another flight, and that's the best that we can do. So at this point, I'm hot. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. My flight leaves in 45 minutes. You're not giving me my pass. The lady has an attitude behind the counter, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse. So they put me on the next flight, and they're like, well, listen, when you get through, go to the gate and see if you can get on. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. See if I can get on. I bought a ticket, but whatever. So anyways, I get in there, go to the front. No one's even boarded the plane yet. They're still sitting there. They haven't even started getting on the plane. I'm hot at this point.
Okay.
So I go there, they're like, okay, well, you have to go standby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So it's me and like 2 other people. Long story short, they start letting people in. I even see the guy with my ticket waving at me, talking about, I got your ticket. I got your ticket. I gave him this look. Anyways, so everybody gets on the plane. The lady comes out there like, okay, he can go, pointing at me. And the lady, the mean one, there was another mean one at this point. She's like, no, he can't go. This person gets the ticket, can go.
Really?
So I'm hot. I'm like, are you kidding me? They get on, I'm mad, I wait, I get on the next flight, I go, we have a good time at the game, whatever, the rest is history. So coming back, I'm in the Uber, and Billy goes, man, are you sure you checked in? I'm like, I'm pretty sure I checked in, because I did. The day before, I got the same text, pushed it, and this is what was making me even madder while I was there, because I'm like, look, it says checked in. And I was like, let me just do it again to make sure the same thing doesn't happen. Look at it, click on it, it says checked in, and then for some reason, I just continue to look at the screen, and I scroll down, there's a little button that says click to submit.
No way. You forgot to click it.
I never clicked another button to submit that I checked in.
What you're saying is, you almost missed your fight.
I did.
Because it was your fault.
It's my fault. It was my fault. It's always your fault.
Could have blamed
everybody else. And think about the reviews that get left, right? Think about how mean I'm gonna make up these stories about the people behind the counter. All of that, all of the stuff that could have led up to that. This is what happens all the time. I bought the course, it didn't work. I went to the training, I did that. I did everything that you said, and it didn't work. I'm telling you, it's always your fault. The whole thing It was one of the biggest breakthroughs I actually had in my life. Hope you guys got value from that too.
So number 2, you mentioned works for others, but not for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big one. At the end of the day, 2 things have to happen. Number 1, people have to believe that it works. So when we launched EBOOV, people had to believe that the tool worked. But more importantly, they have to have certainty that it will work for them. Now, there are occasions where people buy, maybe they only have belief, but they don't have certainty that it'll work for them. Like they've got some crazy sales guy that walks in and knows all the tricks and sells them in. When that happens, you get a company that consists of angry clients, refunds, and a business that you hate, right? But in most cases, 9 out of 10 times you have to have belief, but more importantly, you have to instill in the person that's looking to purchase certainty that it will work for them. When we launched EBOOV, I mean, you know this, like it didn't just jump off the shelves. People weren't running to buy it, even though we know that it's, in my opinion, the number one way to get more leads and faster sales at the lowest cost, with the highest return, right? We had to figure it out the hard way. I mean, we were failing. It was to the point where we were trying different ads. We were trying different webinars and VSLs thinking that was the issue, right? And we were trying to automate the sales, just trying to put a video out there and just have people buy. It wasn't until we essentially started to get people on the phone, explain to them what we're doing so they fully understand the product, hear the objections or the questions that they have, was when essentially selling the product became extremely easy.
Right.
So that goes back to what I just said. It's not what you do, it's how you do. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. A lot of people, things are working for others, but not working for them because they're just missing those little components. And the sad part is they cost themselves so much money and time by, making up these reasons for why something isn't working that aren't even true, right? It's things that they made up in their head. Like, for example, software doesn't work, right? We're using it every single day. We get leads every single day, okay? It wasn't working at first when we tried to automate the sales, but we had to make a tweak, get in touch with the actual customers, see what they were experiencing, and then boom, all of a sudden we get the answers we need, they get the answers they need, and it takes off.
You just have to keep testing at the end of the day.
You have to keep testing, and you have to figure out if what you're telling yourself in terms of why something isn't working is the real reason. Most of the time, it's not the real reason at all. It's someone else's fault. It's the offer. I need to change the business. They do all these other things when that's not the problem at all. So I would definitely tell them that. Just, make sure that the problem that you think is the problem for why the thing isn't working is real.
And then number 3, you mentioned it works for you, but not for long.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. So for whatever reason, when this happens, right? So you try something, it works in the beginning, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. There are people that will still blame the guru or the thing that they purchased, like it doesn't work, even though it had worked for them at some point.
Right.
Even though the stats clearly reflect it works. Like we had that client that had a 46% opt-in rate, over 2 times what the traditional, opt-in rate is, and you always doesn't work. But that has nothing to do with the software. That has to do with your offer, right?
Right.
Essentially, people have to feel like they're giving you 100 and you're giving them $1,000. If they're not buying, then obviously they don't feel that way. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to when that happens is if something was working and then it stops, typically you change something.
Yeah.
I mean, we have it each and every day. Like some days, we're on fire and it seems like everybody that's getting on the call is buying. We have a few days where maybe you're still making sales, but it's not at the same rate. There are people that, we got to change it.
Change everything.
We got to change everything. We got to change the sales call. It's a salesperson. We got to change the webinar. Sometimes it just happens that way where you're not going to have the right person on. That right person's not going to see it. You have to trust that you're solving a problem and continue to put it in front of people. And another thing is that people just keep doing the same thing and they're not adapting to technology. Maybe what they're using just gets old. Taxi, Uber, Blockbuster, Netflix, right? So sometimes...
Horse, car.
What's that?
Horse or car.
Yeah, exactly. EBOOV.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running?
Shots fired. Boom, boom. Hey, just call me O-Dog from Menace to Society. You don't even remember that movie. Holding it sideways. I ain't even holding it like this. Shots fired. Ricky. Boys in the Hood, you went there? Okay.
So for someone that just wants to understand this a little bit better, can you break it down for them?
People live their lives avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. It's that simple. Most of the time, people feel that frustration. They do something, it doesn't work. It's easy to blame someone else, right? Start running towards more pleasure, right? Instead of just dealing with the pain. I believe frustration, pain, overwhelm, confusion, all the things that humans run from is the world's way of telling you you're closer to the money. And in each and every one of these scenarios, people ran from the pain and made a conclusion that it was someone else's fault. The guru got me, right?
Oh, yeah.
In my case, the airline screwed me over, gave my ticket away.
Airline gotcha.
They got me, right? No, it was me.
You
Blame
got
yourself.
You got you.
I got me. Blame yourself. It's always your fault. That's it.